Okay, so our next topic is inheritance. So next topic is inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance is one of the key features of the object-oriented programming language that allows us to create a new class from the existing class. Simple. This standard. This is the standard practical definition of an inheritance. Uh, we can link it with the real world. Inherit means that something which is in the parent will by default will come in the child. Okay, that is the inheritance we call. Am I right or wrong? Hello.
Yeah, that's right.
राइट करेक्ट ओके ठीक है माँ बाप के जो संस्कार होंगे जो नेचर होगा दैट विल उसमें से कुछ ना कुछ पार्ट तो चाइल्ड में आ ही जाएंगे ओके राइट सो वॉट एवर पेरेंट हैज that will come that will come or that will come in the child. So even we can take the surname for example, right? We can take the surname. Whatever the parent's surname is that will be the child surname by default, right? Later on, child want to change that, then they can change, right? But by default, when they are born, it will be default surname will be whatever it's their parents' surname, correct? So that is also inherited by the parents only. Fine. The other things related to DNA. This is what we talk about the real world. Same concept is applied in the inheritance class. In the inheritance means that whatever sorry inheritance means that we can create a new class from the existing class. It means that whatever the fields or methods one class has, it will be by default those fields or methods will be available in the child class. Okay, so in inheritance there are some important terminology that we need to refer, right? That inheritance. Okay. In inheritance, there are few important terminologies. It is being used by everyone. Some prefer to use parent-child class. Some prefer to use superclass, subclass, right? So, or some prefer to use the base class. Okay, so I'll just note it down over here. If it would be good if you remember this, right? So for the superclass, the class whose features are inherited is known as superclass or parent class or base class, either of this one. Okay, subclass, the class that inherits the other class is known as subclass or child class or derived class or extended class. Okay, derived spelling mistake. Okay, so in the real world, okay, a child inherits something from the parent, right? Most of the time it inherits everything from the parent, but a child can have his or her own properties, right? her own nature, right? Correct. हर एक की अपनी अपनी लाइफ है, अपने हिसाब से वो अपने भी कुछ अलग सी स्पेशलिटी होती है, राइट? हेलो?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
राइट, अदर्स?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So similarly in the similarly in Java sorry, similarly in the inheritance, Java inheritance, a subclass can have its own fields or method. By default it will access all, it will have the access to the methods or fields of parent class, but subclass can add its own fields or methods in addition to the superclasses method or fields. Okay. Importance of inheritance. Why inheritance is required?
To use similar objects or function in multiple classes.
To use
Same set of object and function in multiple classes.
same set of object and object. We can create multiple set of objects, right?
Yes, but if we define in one class, we can use the same object in another class, right? We do not need to repeat the same object or the method multiple times.
Sorry, I'm not able to get it. Can anyone?
Can we say just to use reuse the code?
Reuse the code. How we will reuse the code?
Because we are using all the parent class things, we are using it instead of rewriting it. Like
Okay.
we are able, we don't need to rewrite it. So the same things we can reuse it again and again. So that will save our time.
Okay, that will save our time. Correct. Reusability as well. But for the reusability, we create methods. No, we create small methods. If you remember, in the methods we have said that for the code, using the methods, we can remove the duplicate code, and whatever the methods we have created, that we can use it at our own convenience, right? Whenever is required. So reusability is achieved there as well when we use when we create method. Then how specifically with respect reusability with respect to inheritance? Arshita?
I don't know. I'm just thinking that we are able to use all the properties of the parent class. So I don't know what to answer now.
So you are right. You are right. Whatever you have said, you are right. Udit, whatever you have said, I'm sorry, but I'm still not able to get you what you were trying to say. Okay. But
No
yeah.
problem.
Okay. But yes, inheritance, using the inheritance, we can reuse our code, like Archita said, that whatever the parents class properties are there, it's there. So and if it is used in some other class without implementing it one more time, right? Then reusability is achieved. Okay. So using the child object, I can access the methods of the parent class. So I have so in that way reusability is achieved. Okay. We are reusing the fields. When I say fields, it means variables or constructors, and we are using methods of an existing class. We are reusing it in the child class. So that is how reusability is achieved. Okay. ठीक है. So this is what you will see in the online tutorials as well, reusability. ठीक है, that you will get to know, but it's like क्या बोलते हैं, yeah, there will be just a definition, there won't be any explanation. Okay, so instead of inheritance, let me everyone likes Avengers. Hello.
Yes.
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 Yes, Avengers. Udit has an Udit and Priyanka. I don't think they like Avengers.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Fine with Avengers. Okay. So let's say there is a class named Avenger, right? So we'll declare some variable like string Avenger name, right? Then what else? Boolean. Human. Is a human or mutant? Then power. Uh, 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 okay, what an Avenger can do. It's called ability, right? What is this?
Constructor
Constructor.
Correct.
with argument.
Parameterized constructor. Uh, Capability instead of power type, let's set the ability, right? Um, okay, let's assume there is an Avenger class, and we'll have one more method. Name. What else Avenger can do? I hope everyone has seen the movie, right? Hello.
Yes.
What an Avenger can do?
They can fly.
They can
Fly.
fly. Yes. Right. Okay. And let's create method. Boolean and fly. Right. Uh, string lie, not string, sorry. Boolean. We'll start Angel name. And five. Oh. Let's start Angel. Um, okay. About this, let's say an Avenger is this, right? Avenger class is this. Now let's create one more class with any Avenger. Which Avenger we should pick up?
Or
Thor. Okay. Class Thor. Class Thor is the Thor is the member of Avengers, right? So what I'll do, I'll extend the Avengers. So to implement the inheritance, you need to use the keyword extends. Yes, how that I'll do. Okay. Thor. Uh, okay. What Thor can do? What should we do? Right. Thor. So Thor is a member of Avengers. So whatever the properties or the methods or the class, whatever we have defined or set for the Thor, so we have defined in the Avengers class, by default that will be accessible to Thor, right? Hello.
Yes.
yes,
Yes. Without creating the object or by using the help of object.
without creating object.
Without creating object. How? Thor dot. What will come? Nothing. So
No.
see, I have told you in many sessions that to access the members of a particular class, we need to create the object, right? whether it has inherited or not. See, by default, when we have added the keyword extends, it means that it will inherit everything, right? Whatever it's written, whatever is written in the particular that class. Okay, but to access this or to use them, we need to create the object of that class. Otherwise, we won't be able to access it, right? Okay, so let me just do this thing over here. I'll have one more class. Or okay. Now I can have one more method, public static void main string. Yeah, GS, and here I'll create the our object is equal to new now our object dot what's his ability. See, I haven't created any what I will say, a variable named ability or avenger name or fly or human in the camp, right? Joined here, and the two more methods, avengers can fly or not, right? Those two methods, all of them I have defined in the class avengers. But so, and since Thor class is extending avenger class, it means that that Thor object will be able to access all that. Avenger name is equal to Thor, but avenger name we are already setting in the constructor, so I will not do that. uh, I'll set some other variable, avenger dot ability. What's Thor ability? पता है किसी को? हेलो?
Thor's ability.
Yes.
Thunder.
ठंडा, चले ठंडा. Yes. Thunder. Yes. Is he human? No, he is not from the planet Earth, right? So that is why he is not human. Our object dot is it trained in the camp? No, right? वो ऐसे ही बन गया था. Our object dot what else is left? Joined here we don't know, so we will not set that. Can he fly? Can Thor fly?
With the use of hammer, he can fly.
With the use of but he can fly. In short, he can fly, right?
Yes.
Right. So we'll set true, and from here we'll set this method, right? That he can fly. Okay, we forgot one important thing. Instead of joined here, let's right, and we'll have one more method, not boolean, void avenger details. right? Name this dot Avenger name. See, so what else? This Avenger woman. This dot woman. We can set string. No. So yesterday we have set planet. What's the error in line number 28? Can anyone point it out?
You miss colon.
No, I did not miss colon.
Semicolon.
Yes, I missed semicolon. Okay. Planet. This dot planet. Okay, get Avenger details. This. What else we should print? For the fly, we have already printed, right? Weapon is this dot weapon. But do we set weapon anywhere? So we'll assume that any Avenger will have weapon with him or her, right? Whenever they are playing a role. Okay, so here what I need to do, I need to set the, for Thor we have hammer, correct? And let's print the detail. Thor object dot Avenger details. When I run this class, it should have print all the required details. Can Thor fly? Thor can fly. True. Okay, that is fine. Yep, I have written and this. It's pretty easy, don't you think? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Nilesh.
It's pretty easy, don't you think? Everyone? Hello? Yes or no? Others?
No.
It's not easy? It's super easy. I have just created the two class and one class is extending the other class. and the child class is using the methods or variables declared in the parent class. That's it.
I think most of the areas we are creating methods and creating objects to call them and creating
Yes, that's it.
members.
Simple. Right. What else? See,
Nothing.
have I declared any variables like ability, human in the cam, or the methods can fly, get avenger details in the Thor class? Have I?
No.
No.
We are just calling, I mean, concept, we understood the concept, like we are using it from Avenger.
Right. Then
As this bringing the value over here is like not getting it. I mean, I'm breaking the things like how we have called.
we have called using the class object. Sorry. Yeah, we have you. We have. Okay. Let's do one thing. Uh, See, if
Or
I say one thing, if I don't extend this, right, then I will not be able to access the fields what or the methods defined in this Avenger class using the child class object, means Thor object. Thor object is a class of which class? This Thor, right? And since it is not extending Avengers, then I am not able to access it. Okay,
Yeah.
right? So to access that, what I have done, sorry, to access those variables or fields, what I have done, I have just extending it. I have implemented inheritance. अभी थोड़ा क्लियर क्यों हुआ कि नहीं?
Yes.
Means clear to hai. I mean, I understood what we are doing it. It's just I think the way we are calling the things are not getting fit unless I will not do it by myself. It will be confusing for me. Like we have used the Thor object ability, then we have passed the value. It goes there, and again the boolean. So this
Let's
all thing.
so these are the things, right? So these are the just the example, right? So these three are the variables which I have declared in the Avengers class, right? So and from child class I am setting the value of the I am setting the value or initializing the value for the variables which are in the parent class. So that you can do that. This is what I'm showing you over here, right? Whether it's the string or boolean variable, I can set the value from the child class using the child class object for the parent class variables. I can call the method which is in the parent class using the child class object. So that is the main concept of the inheritance. Using the child class object, you can access the fields or methods of a parent class. That is the main concept.
Okay.
Okay, still doubt?
No.
so Nirush, this is also example of functional driven framework, right?
Functional driven framework. Please explain me what is functional driven framework. I have heard this very first time.
Means in functional driven, like we are creating methods and calling in other classes, right? While reading one of the article, there was one term like functional driven framework. So where we are using inheritance to, when we are calling method of another class in some other class.
Yeah, that is functional driven. Yeah, yeah, correct. Functional driven. Okay, so kind of functional driven we can say, right? Kind of functional driven we can say. So and anywhere in your framework, you will call the methods from one class to another. You will call the method of one class in another class, right? So we ultimately it's a functional driven. So I have heard this very first time that functional driven. but yeah, you can call it that in that way, right? Now I have said that a child class can have its own methods, correct? Child class can have its own methods. So what additional thing Thor can do? Avengers तो जो करते हैं वो कर ही रहा है. What additional thing Thor can do?
We can define our own method as well.
Yeah, that is what the reason I'm asking you guys, right? What additional thing Thor can do, which other Avengers cannot? Check the no left hammer.
Captain America can also do that.
Yeah, that's the what's it? That's the exception, right? But initially he was not able to do that. If hammer, hammer is lifted, right? Else hammer is placed somewhere. Okay. What else? Can Captain America generate the thunder? Hmm?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, with the use of hammer.
Yes, with the use of hammer, he can do that, right, Captain America? But let's first focus on Thor. What else he can do? Let's not waste more time into that one. But yeah. Thor object dot lift oops. Thor object dot lift hammer. True. So child class can access its own methods as well, and they can access the methods of the parent class as well, right? But can the parent class access the methods of child class? Logical answer dena. I'm asking everyone.
No.
Who said no?
Priya.
Okay. What about others? Achita, we are starting from alphabetical every time. So Achita, you'll be first every time. Achita, what's your answer? Achita, can you hear me? Is Achita there? Hello.
She just left me a message that her system is not working properly, so she is
Okay,
restarting.
fine, not an issue. Next is PQR. Ria. Ria has also already answered. What about Ria? What's your answer?
I think no. I'm just guessing. I'm not sure.
Okay. Think logically. Do not guess. Think logically. Then be sure. Udit.
No.
Sorry. Shruti. Sorry. Next is Shruti.
Yes.
Okay. Udit, what's your answer?
No.
Okay. Archita, you still there? I don't think she's there. I think her sister is. Shruti, why do you think that child method can be accessed in the parent method in the parent class? Child class method can be accessed in the parent class. Why do you think that?
Okay. I thought you are asking about that lift hammer object that you.
So that the lift hammer is the method, right? Which I have
Yes.
created in the child class, which is the
Mm-hmm.
Thor.
Yes.
Thor is our child class, right? So
Mm-hmm.
my question is, can the child class method be
Mm-hmm.
accessed in the parent class? You said yes, right? So
Yes, I
why do
said
you
yes.
think? So why do you think that this method can be accessed in the in the parent class?
No, it won't.
Using the object, definitely I can do that. But without creating the object, can I do that? No.
No.
बिकॉज चाइल्ड के जो खुद अपनी एबिलिटी है, अपने प्रॉपर्टीज है, वो पेरेंट्स में कभी नहीं होती. पेरेंट्स के सारे गुण चाइल्ड में आएंगे, राइट? बट चाइल्ड के जो गुण है वो पेरेंट्स में नहीं जाएंगे कभी भी. ऐसा रिवर्स में कभी कुछ नहीं होगा, राइट?
राइट.
ओके, ठीक है.
Okay.
Alright, so that is how it works in this one. So this inheritance which I have implemented at the moment is the single inheritance. One class, one relationship. Okay, one class, one relationship. That's it. इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं. एक क्लास दूसरे क्लास को एक्सटेंड कर रहा है. क्लास B is extending class A. Class Thor extending Avenger class. This is the single inheritance. यहाँ पर in the single inheritance there are only two classes. One is child class and one is parent class. Okay. The child class inherits the feature of the parent class. That's it. Next is multi-level inheritance. So multi-level inheritance is that a derived class, a child class can also be a parent class of some other class, right? Now let's say class Thor. Some other class extends the class Thor. कौन है जो थॉर को एक्सटेंड कर सकता है? कैप्टन अमेरिका? Loki? No, Loki is not in Avengers.
Captain America will be a good option.
Captain America is a good option, right? Captain. No, I'll write Steve Rogers. Extends. Oh. Sorry. Now, what should I do? Huh?
With the use of object, try to access uh, lift hammer method or any other which is defined.
I am accessing the variables
Also.
declared inside the grandparent class.
Correct.
Okay. Here I have set the Avenger name. Then weapon would be
Shield.
shield, right?
And
Will
human
not be
equals to true.
set. Human is equal to true. Yes, he is a human because he is from planet Earth. For the planet, it is method.
I think so, yes.
Sorry, not set planet will be Earth, right? And dot lift hammer. Can he lift the hammer?
Yes.
True. Yes, that is also true. Okay. Now, how will I call this Steve Rogers so that everything, whatever I have said, is printed? Same question as of yesterday. What should I do?
Sorry, didn't get you.
How will I call this display method? Okay.
Is the same public static void?
Public static void. Yeah, public static void. What after that?
We
Is
need
a
to
main
create
string.
Sorry?
we need to create an object of Steve Rogers there, and we need to print that
Where
object.
we will create the
Already.
objects, where we will create the object of Steve Rogers, and we have already
Main
created
method.
the Steve Rogers.
Basically, we need to create a main method, and then
Okay.
after we create the objects of the
Okay, where we should create the main method?
uh,
Under main
uh,
method, public static void main method.
Okay, which on
after display
which line?
method.
Which
After
line?
display method.
Okay, is it
Mhm.
allowed?
In a class, only one public method would be there.
Oh yeah, main method should
Okay.
be one in one class.
Udit.
I
Okay,
will not
fine.
answer. I will not answer.
Okay, fine.
Does it possible to like
It's
do
not possible.
multiple
It's not
inheritance in one
possible.
class?
Sorry. See, this is what I have implemented, right? This is possible, but it's about calling a method. It's about calling a display method. It's about calling a display method. That's it, nothing else, right? This is possible. So what I'll do, see what I'll do in this hello world. Oops is already there. So I'll do is Steve. What's the class name?
Class.
Steve Rogers SR is equal to new Steve Rogers. It has the default one, right? So I need to extend this. Sorry. Yeah, but yeah, it should have been public. One class, there cannot be two public classes. That is also true over here. Okay, so what I'll do, and those are in different one. Okay, in the inheritance one, I'll do Steve Rogers SR is equal to new Steve Rogers. Okay, and SR dot SR dot display. I should be able to do that, right? Sorry. Here I will create public static void main string and SR dot string cannot make a static reference. So when I will run this class inheritance, hammer is lifted. Only one thing is printed. Why? Oops. SR dot get Avenger details. SR dot get planet. Can I get Avenger name over here? Yes. Why I am able to do that? Because the Steve Roger is extending Thor and Thor is extending
Avenger.
Avengers, right? So yeah. So in the Thor.java, we have just set the planet, or we have set the weapon, human, and the Avenger name. All that will be printed in the Avenger details, get Avenger details, and get planet. So let's hope that we get all the required details, right? Hammer is lifted, name is Thor, is Avenger human, false, weapon is hammer. Why it set to Thor? Why it is set to Thor, not the Captain America? Constructor overloading yesterday. Constructor overloading. See, in the Thor class, we do have constructor Thor, right? In the Avenger class, we do have one more constructor Avengers, and in that we are setting this dot Avenger name is equal to Avenger name and this dot weapon is equal to weapon name. What is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of this keyword? It means that it refers the current object reference. Current object reference. Here we have created the object of Steve Roger class, and in this Steve Roger class, have we created any additional sorry, and for the Steve Roger class, whenever we are creating this object, right, SR new, which constructor we are calling? The default one. We are not calling any additional constructor, right? So that is the reason it has printed, sorry, it has set the name as Thor and his Avenger human as false instead of true. Okay, समझ में आया कि बाउंसर गया? कुछ बोलना?
So if we created another constructor inside the Steve Roger class, then it will call the value of that class only.
It should have said that. And the other thing as well, one more thing. Here there are two objects. Here there are two objects. One object I have created inside the display method, and one object I have created in the inheritance method. So ideally what I should do? Ideally what I should do? like with since this is related to display, I'll be set get Avenger details. I should set this here. What are the values there? SR dot Avenger name is equal to Captain America, right? What else we have set? And but again, I will remove this. I do not want to create the new object. I'll just print the Avenger details. So ideally this should work. And last here I'll have set the SR dot display, and instead of setting it from over here, I'll set from the Captain America, comma shield. Okay, here it will throw an error because it doesn't have any constructor with 2 parameters, right? So Steve Rogers, calls the super, and in that Captain America and shield. So here's the interesting thing. Okay, it doesn't have because it has already has the super one. Okay, so it will not have anything. Super will do, and from super these two values have been set. Okay, so we'll have a problem over here in setting the correct value. I believe we need to call this. Okay, now it should do. Yes. Still weapon is hammer. Why? Still weapon is hammer. It is not set to is not human. My weapon is set to hammer. Oops. Weapon name is equal to ninja weapon. Okay, the other way. Okay. Still it's hammer. We do get the proper name, right? Wait, we need to run this. Why we are running that? Yes. Captain America, true. Shield and Captain America. Okay, fine.
No, now you need to explain what we have done. I
What we
lost.
have done?
Yeah, I have a big question.
Yeah, okay, fine. Big question. Yes. Okay. Before you say anything, anybody else have to say something? Okay. No. Archita, I will explain. But yeah, Priyanka, yes. What's your question?
Okay, so before we create that Steve Roger class because we want to do multiple inheritance, right?
No, 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 no. First thing, we have done multi-level inheritance. We haven't done
Okay,
multiple inheritance. Okay. एक parent है, parent का child है और child का child.
sibling.
Not sibling.
Okay,
Child के child को
grandparent. Okay.
sibling थोड़ी बोलते हैं.
No. Yeah, I got it. Huh. So I was, as my understanding, like when we do multi-level inheritance, we have to create two class, and we can extend that two class to the parent class. Am I right? Like
No,
Thor and
no,
Steve
no, no,
Roger
no,
is a
no,
two
no.
child, is a separate,
See,
different.
see, in the multi-level inheritance, there will be a minimum 3 classes, right? One will be
Okay.
one will be grandparent class, second will be normal parent, and third will be child
Child.
class. That's it. Either you can refer this as parent class, child class, and grandchild class.
Okay.
That way.
So this is not ideally is a sibling kind of because you
No,
create
this
two
no, no, no.
methods.
No,
Two
no, no.
class,
This is not
no?
sibling. This is not sibling. This is not sibling. In the sibling, what will happen? Steve Rogers will be sorry. Thor and Steve Rogers will be at the same level. Thor and Steve Rogers will be at the same level. Here, Steve Rogers is extending the properties
Of
of
parents.
parent class, and the parent class is Thor. So Steve Rogers is a child of Thor.
Okay.
Okay, it's not he is not a sibling of Thor in this case, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's do one more similar. Let's say Iron Man. Okay. Oops, sorry. Where is Thor? Where is Thor? Control C, Control V. I'll just rename Iron Man. Peter Parker. Extends Iron Man. Okay. Who is Peter Parker?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay. And we all know Spider-Man is just recently added in the Avengers, right? And Avengers में उसको कौन लाया? Iron Man, right? और Tony Stark. Hello.
Yeah.
ठीक है. तो Peter Parker is a child of Iron Man. आप उस हायरार्किकल लेवल पे देखोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा. कि एक एवेंजर सबसे बड़ी कंपनी है, उसके अंदर आयरन मैन भी है, थॉर भी है, स्पाइडरमैन भी है, कैप्टन अमेरिका है, ब्लैक विडो है, हॉकाई है, सब है, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, ठीक है। बट उसमें भी एक एज के हिसाब से आप देखते जाओगे तो आयरन मैन, कैप्टन अमेरिका, वो सब एक सेम लेवल पे है, ठीक है। while पीटर पार्कर इज स्टिल अ चाइल्ड, he is in his 20s only, right? और उसको लेकर आने वाला कौन है, एवेंजर में ऐड करने वाला कौन है, आयरन मैन। सो
And
आयरन मैन becomes the parent of Peter Parker.
yes,
Not the Peter Parker, I'll just say Spider-Man. Iron Man becomes the parent of the Spider-Man. So ये example proper set होगा, right? कि Iron Man extend the properties of Avengers and Peter Parker extend the properties of Iron Man. So ultimately, Peter Parker will be able to use whatever will be able to use the properties of
everyone,
properties of Avengers as well.
everyone's.
Everyone's, right? Clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Then still doubt?
Yes, a doubt is like why we create the inheritance class. Why we can't use that like why create the inheritance class? If we use that class, then why we create that Peter Parker class in uh, Iron Man class?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
Okay.
You are talking about
Inheritance.
this inheritance.java.
Yeah.
So we have just used this class. We have this is kind of one class from where we are calling this. See, ultimately in single Java file, we cannot have two public class, and we cannot have two main methods.
Main method, right?
Two main methods, right? Correct. So let's say if I have something like this, right? I can have normal something like this. Then I can have this as well, right? But to call the method of this, all this, what I need to do, I should create an object of a particular class, right? I should create an object of a particular class. Where I should create a particular object of a class which is runnable. Any Java class which is runnable, any Java class in which it has the main method, right? So that class is our inheritance.java. In this case, we need to have one runnable class which will call all these methods. अगर आपको रन करना है, आप कैसे रन करोगे? बाय डिफॉल्ट ये कुछ रन होगा यहाँ पर public. If when I run this ironman.java, so what it will do? What it will do the execution of whatever is written inside the main method of class ironman. See, when I think you haven't seen that session about methods. In that we have covered that whenever we execute a particular class, the first time Java compiler looks for the main method. If that class has the main method, then it will execute everything written inside that inside that. If it does not have anything, if it doesn't have any main method, then it will not do anything.
Yeah.
Whether you have created object in a particular method or not, it will not do anything, because it Java compiler or the JVM needs some starting point. Correct?
Yeah.
Without the starting point, how compiler will know what to execute or what to not. So that is the reason we have created one more class, inheritance.java, that is the runnable class. And in that we have given the starting point, and from that we have called the required methods of Peter Parker class. Here we have called the method of Peter Parker class, and Peter Parker class will call the other methods of the its grandparent or parent class. It will call parent class or grandparent classes method. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Others? Hello? Okay, alphabetical
Yes.
order, reverse में. Udit, yes, clear.
Yes,
Riya,
sir. Yeah.
Yes, just can you describe more on the last thing which you have called in the main inheritance class, inheritance.java? Can you open that?
sure.
Yes. Yeah, this one.
Sorry. Yeah, please say.
Yeah, so here you have called directly. So can you please elaborate more on this? How?
Elaborate in what sense?
So how this why you have called this in the main this inheritance class?
Priya, can you explain? Because same question was asked by Priya as well.
Okay, so the explanation is same. Okay.
Right, explanation is same. Okay, let me ask you a question, that how you will explain this class to me, inheritance. What actually happens in this class? Tell me. Riya, it's question to you, huh?
Yeah, so you have directly called all the methods over here in the main class.
Of what class? Of what class?
Steve Rogers.
Okay, at line number 11, what I have done?
Yeah, you have directly created the constructor and directly passed the values over here.
Again, I am asking what I have done at line number 11.
Yeah, sorry, you have created the object of this
Okay.
Roger class.
And while creating the object, which constructor I have referred?
Captain America.
Not the Captain America. Which type of constructor I have called while creating the object at line number 11?
Sorry, I got confused.
See, there are three types of constructor.
Yeah, so
Default
parameter.
constructor,
Yeah,
without
parameter.
default constructor without the parameters, and the parameterized constructor.
Parameterized. Yeah.
Okay, so we have called the parameterized constructor. So
Yeah.
while creating the object, this is the syntax: class name, object name is equal to new, and then we pass the constructor name. We do not pass the class name. Since class name, since constructor have the same name as of the class name, so many people are making this mistake, right? That while creating the object, we are writing down the class name after the keyword new, which is wrong. We are writing the name of the constructor, which constructor we will be calling. If it does not have any constructor, any user defined constructor, then by default it will call the default constructor, which will be the same as of the class name. Okay, fine. So here I have called the constructor Steve Rogers, captain name Steve, and that constructor I have defined over here, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that constructor I have defined, and in that constructor, what happens? Avenger name, I am setting the Avenger name is equal to AVG name, whatever the parameters I have passed, and weapon is equal to AVG weapon. Avenger name and weapon are the variables of which class? Archita?
Avenger.
Okay, Avenger, correct. So that value will be set when this constructor is called, correct?
Yes.
Okay, next line is sr dot human is equal to
True.
true. So again, this is the variable of Avengers class.
Avengers.
Set planet is the
Avengers method.
Avengers method. Lift hammer is the Riya. Hello.
Is a Thor method.
It's a Thor method, and displays the method from
I think it's Thor.
Steve.
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 Steven Rogers.
अरे यहाँ पर
showing
लिखा
up.
हुआ है,
हाँ.
यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है, राइट, यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है. Okay, Steve Rogers dot display. So here we have called the methods of its own class. जो क्लास जिस क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया है उसका we are calling the method of the parent class, and we are calling the method or accessing the method of the grandparent class as well. So this is how we have implemented multi-level inheritance. Clear? एक सिंगल इनहेरिटेंस में क्या था, 2 क्लास थे. मल्टी लेवल इनहेरिटेंस में 3 क्लास. दैट्स इट, खत्म. इंस्टेड ऑफ कैप्टन अमेरिका लेट्स ये क्या था, पीटर पार्कर, राइट. पीटर पार्कर का ऑब्जेक्ट हम बना देते हैं यहाँ पर इनहेरिटेंस में. पीटर पार्कर ज्यादा इजी रहेगा, राइट. पीटर पार्कर क्या है, स्पाइडरमैन. यस, एवरीवन्स फेवरेट स्पाइडरमैन. और उसका वेपन क्या है,
Spider.
Spider-Man, right? Is he human? Yes. Set planet Earth? No, he cannot left. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
ठीक है, right?
Mhm.
Can he fly? Yes, he can fly, right?
Yes.
Yes, he can fly. We do have this. Can fly? Yes. वो उड़ता थोड़ी है यार, वो तो लटकता है, नहीं? हाँ?
Fly करने का स्टाइल है डिफरेंट.
फ्लाइट करने का स्टाइल है. हाँ, उड़ता नहीं, बट स्टिल वो लटकता है, उड़ता थोड़ी है, राइट. वो तो सिर्फ जंप लगाता है. ठीक है. जावा एप्लीकेशन, नो दिस, ही कैन फ्लाई. इसका जो सूट है, यूजिंग दैट ही कैन फ्लाई. एडवांस सूट है, सॉरी, हाउ कैन आई फॉरगॉट. एवेंजर वाला जो स्पाइडरमैन है, ही कैन फ्लाई. ओके, सो आई विल सेट दैट एज टू ट्रू. फ्लाई वाला प्रिंट हुआ है. Yes, can Spider-Man fly? Yes, true, true. He can fly. Okay, so now concept about multi-level inheritance is clear. I believe so. Everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next is
Maybe I need to leave this meeting. I have another call, office call.
okay, fine, not an issue.
I will
Fine.
refer the recording.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you.
Fine. Yeah. Thanks. Bye bye, Achita.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Next is hierarchical inheritance. मतलब कि one parent can have 2 child, right? एक का एक ही चाइल्ड होगा ऐसा तो नहीं है.
Siblings.
हाँ, सिबलिंग्स वाली बात आती है यहाँ पर. सो एवेंजर्स के अंदर बहुत सारे लोग हैं. वी हैव दिस एवेंजर्स, राइट. थॉर इज आल्सो एवेंजर, आयरन मैन इज आल्सो एवेंजर. तो हो गया, एक एवेंजर के अंदर थॉर भी आ गया, आयरन मैन भी आ गया, तो हो गया. और both of them will access the required methods or the class. हेलो, दोनों की अपने अपने, दोनों चाइल्ड की अपने अपनी खुद की मेथड भी होगी. अभी आयरन मैन है तो आयरन मैन लिफ्ट हैमर कर सकता है ना, उसकी कोई मेथड नहीं आएगी. आयरन मैन में क्या आएगा, आयरन मैन का क्या आता है, हैमर नहीं आता यहाँ पर.
उसका सूट
आए नहीं, उसके वो और क्या कर सकता है आयरन मैन.
he can fly, he can use
वो तो फ्लाई तो एवेंजर्स में आ गया है ना, प्रॉपर हर एक के एवेंजर्स में. व्हाट एल्स,
lasers, rockets.
थ्रो मिसाइल्स, राइट, ऐसा कुछ. रोबोट. व्हाट एल्स, चलो, व्हाट is the unique
Fight,
thing.
fight.
Everyone is Avenger is. Priyanka, you need to watch Avengers,
Yeah, but
right?
if
For each
yeah,
character, you need to see the movie, not just Avengers. You need to see the movie. अगर किसी ने नहीं देखा, it's not related to Priyanka. Everyone, ठीक है? अगर किसी ने नहीं देखा, तो देख सकते हैं आप. It's worth watching it. Okay? ठीक है. Sorry. Avenger fight करते ही है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Yeah, he is scientist, right? Hello.
Yes.
Right. Scientist. यहाँ पर एक और भी कर सकता हूँ. Spring. एक्सपेरिमेंट बहुत करता है ये बंदा, राइट? साइंटिस्ट का स्पेलिंग सही लिखा ना? साइंटिस्ट क्या है ये? Oops. Brilliant. All right. So lift hammer will not be this. Okay, and that's the additional thing. आयरन मैन भी साइंटिस्ट है. आयरन मैन क्या, पीटर पार्कर भी थोड़ा तो है geeky, राइट? उसका सब कुछ है. टेक्नोलॉजी ये सब है. कार ड्राइव कर सकता है नहीं? वॉइड कार ड्राइव नहीं, कार डिटेल्स. इसके पास तो बहुत सारी कार है. So who has Audi, Ferrari, planes, something. इतना कुछ चलो लिखना नहीं है, but still. Just for writing it, just for writing purpose. Car details, not the car details. Vehicle collection. Vehicle collection. All right. So instead of Thor object, I am object. Oops. See, यहाँ पर मैं एक ट्रिक बताऊँ. यहाँ पर डबल क्लिक करो, राइट क्लिक करो, फिर रिफैक्टर में जाओ एंड रीनेम करो, देन आई एम ऑब्जेक्ट. सो इतनी जगह पर यहाँ पर इसका रेफरेंस हुआ होगा, हर जगह पर चेंजेस हो जाएंगे, राइट? हेलो.
Yes, got
Depends on the suit. ठीक है. इन द कैंप ना, वो कैंप पे तो जाता ही नहीं है कभी. ह्यूमन है, यस ही इज ह्यूमन, राइट? कैन फ्लाई ट्रू, गेट एवेंजर साइंटिस्ट ट्रू, सब कुछ हो गया. ओके फाइन. व्हाट एल्स इज लेफ्ट? नथिंग इज लेफ्ट. रिफैक्टर. किसको नींद आ रही है? इसको नींद आ रही है. Okay, done. So I don't have any other example for the hierarchical inheritance. right? Because this that is what we have already implemented. Thor is extending Avengers, Ant-Man is also extending Avengers, and with that we have just called the respective one and checked it, right? So there isn't anything else. Okay. Now about the this is the interview question, right? An interviewer can ask that what is a relationship? Question is, when interviewer asks what is a relationship, what is a relationship concept in Java? So the answer of this question is, in Java, inheritance is a relationship. That is, we use an inheritance only if there is some relationship between two class. We use inheritance only if there is some relationship between two class. In our example, Thor has a relationship with the Avengers, Iron Man has the relationship with the Avengers, right? Hello, Peter Parker has a relationship with Avengers. Peter Parker has a relationship with Iron Man. Peter Parker, or sorry, Spider-Man is Avenger. Iron Man is a Avenger. Thor is a Avenger. And Captain America is a Avenger. Black Widow is also Avenger. Wanda is also Avenger. Right? So this is a relationship. Whenever there you found a relationship between two classes, you implement inheritance. Okay, fine. Clear, everyone?
Yes, so far.
See, with regular examples, instead of Avengers example, जो classic examples है लोग use करते हैं ना, like vehicle. There is a vehicle है, तो a car is a vehicle, right? Bike is a vehicle. That is the relationship. Orange is a fruit. Apple is a fruit. Right? ठीक है? फिर IT engineer is an engineer. Likewise.
Yeah.
All right? Lizard is an animal. ठीक है? जो regular example है, जो mostly लोग use करते हैं, that these are those examples. Right? If you still do, I hope everyone is clear about is a relationship concept and when to implement inheritance in Java. Do I need to repeat?
No.
I'm hearing no only from
No.
Monica. Okay,
No.
fine. Now
No,
there's a concept left, method overriding, but we will not go ahead because it's at almost 11. It's 11:02, right? Okay, so method overriding we will cover on Friday. All right, this is all about inheritance. One inheritance is left, which is multiple inheritance, but that we will cover after interface. All right.
Okay.
Okay, fine, everyone. Any doubts, any queries for today's topic?
No.
All right then. Bye bye. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Good.
See you on Friday. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.